Good morning, students. Welcome back to the class. Hope the last video is clear. Okay. Now, just go for a quick revision of whatever we have done in the last class before we proceed. So, in the last class, we started with the topic of function. So, what is a function? So, a function is a rule which associates every element of set A to a unique element in set B. So the symbol is denoted by f from A to B. That's a symbol to denote a function from the set A to set B, right? So here A will be called as the domain and B will be called as the codomain. And if suppose a function is defined by f of x equal to y, then y is called as image of x and x will be called as pre-image of y. Fine. And the collection of all the images, now that will be called as the range of the function f. So apart from the basics of definitions, we studied different types of functions. Under that, the first one is called as injective or one-one function. So the name itself suggests every element of set A should have different images in set B. So or 1 1, if you want to say 1 1, or you can say different elements of A have different image in B. If the elements are same, image will be same. If the elements are different, images will be different. So one element, one image, that's the concept. So if we have given the condition for this one, if x1 equal to x2, then f of x1 equal to f of x2. If the elements are same, image will be same. Otherwise, if the elements are different, image also will be different. There are two types of working condition for to check for 1 1. That depends on the problem. So the next type of function what we studied is, see, it's quite simple. Any function which is not 1 1 will be called as a many one function. Then the next one we have studied something called as onto or surjective function. So when going for 1 1, we'll take care from set A to set B. That means every element of set A have different images in set A. But when going for onto, you take care from set B to set A. That means every element from here should have at least one pre-image in set A. Okay, so that's a way to check for onto. So how to check for onto? So we will assume f of x equal to y. We will find out x in terms of y. This will be substituted back in f of x, and on simplifying, if you are getting back y, now that we are going to say it's going to be an onto. That is one method of working. The other method, which is used commonly most of the time, the range of the function should be equal to codomain. Now, if this condition, any of these two conditions are satisfied, then the function is said to be onto. If it is not onto, then the function is said to be an into function. So, any function which is both 1 1 and onto will be simply called as bijective function. This is the whole concept of functions what we have done it in the last class. So on this we have completed the worked examples from NCERT. We started with the exercise problems. Okay, under that we have done till problem number 6, and now let us see the remaining problems from the textbook. Now the next problem from the textbook, that is from exercise till problem number 6 we have finished. Now we have to continue with problem number 7. With problem number 7, now they check that in each of the following case, check for 1 1 onto or bijective. Justify your answer. Under that first one, f from R to R is defined by f of x equal to 3 minus 4x. So we will going to check for the general procedure. Now the first one is to check for 1 1, So how to check for 1, 1? Let us assume that f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Now, that means we assume that the images are same. If you are able to reduce, the elements are also same, then the function is said to be 1, 1. Let us see if we can draw this conclusion. So, if f of x1 equal to f of x2, let me apply this definition which is given there. 3 minus 4x1 is equal to 3 minus 4x2. 3 will be cancelled. Don't cancel everything in one step. Okay, do step by step. Minus 4x1 is equal to minus 4x2. Then minus 4 will be cancelled. The remaining is x1 equal to x2. We are able to reduce. Okay, now the condition f of x1 equal to f of x2, from that we are landing up at x1 equal to x2. That shows that the given function is going to be 1, 1. That's one method. The other one we have to check for onto. Now to check for onto, as I said, let us assume that f of x equal to y. That is 3 minus 4x equal to y, or minus 4x equal to y minus 3, or x equal to y minus 3y minus 4. You can multiply the minus sign here. 3 minus y by 4. Where will we substitute this? This will be substituted back in the given function. Fine. So therefore f of x equal to, in place of x we will replace this value now. So it's going to be 3 minus 4 multiplied by 3 minus y by 4. Eliminate 4. 3 minus 3 plus y. Eliminate this also. Right. Now what does this say actually means? For every element y belongs to the codomain, there exists an element x belongs to the domain. For example, if I substitute y is equal to 1, what will happen here? X equal to 3 minus 1 by 4, 2 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. So if I put it in a diagram wise, actually 1 is an element from the codomain and half is an element from the domain. So that means pre-image of 1 will be 1 by 2. So what does this says exactly? This step says is, for every element y from the codomain, there exists an element x from the domain. And I can find out x value by using the formula which I have deducted here. Fine. So what we need to do, assume f of x equal to y, find out x in terms of y. This x should be replaced back in the function, and after simplifying I should be able to get f of x equal to y. Assume and prove it. Fine. Now that's the way to check for onto. So it is 1, 1, it is onto, hence the function is going to be an onto. It's going to be a bijective function. Fine students, now let us consider the second problem from this. So 7th main, first problem, second one, f is defined from real numbers to real numbers, and it is defined as f of x equal to 1 plus x square. If you want, I can just show it by giving an example also. If not, let's consider the general procedure. So the general procedure to check for 1, 1, let us consider f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Therefore 1 plus x1 square is equal to 1 plus x2 square. Eliminate 1. The remaining is x1 square is equal to x2 square. This does not mean actually x1 equal to x2. No, this is not possible. Okay, why it is not possible means, for example, minus 1 square is also 1, 1 square is also 1, but minus 1 is not equal to 1, correct now? So this will not give you a conclusion that x1 should be equal to x2, because the function is defined from real numbers to real numbers. So the given function cannot be 1, 1. Now how to check for onto? So let's consider f of x equal to y, 1 plus x square equal to y, or x square equal to y minus 1, x equal to root of y minus 1. If I suppose substitute y is equal to 0, what will happen? X equal to root of 0 minus 1. Root of 0 minus 1 is minus 1. This does not belongs to real numbers. See students, when I get square root or some irrational powers actually, right? So it's better to give an example to check for onto condition. So what you can do is, you give any value of y which is less than 1. For any value of y less than 1, this value is always going to be negative. Hence you cannot say it's going to be an onto. So the meaning of this is, there is an element 0 belongs to the codomain. This does not have a pre-image. Hence the given function is not going to be an onto function. So that's about the seventh main. There were two problems and both problems were discussed. Now they have taken something in 8th problem, f from a cross b to b cross a, defined as f of a comma b is equal to b comma a. So what we need to show? We need to show that this function is going to be a bijective. That means show that this function is going to be 1 1 as well as onto. So to check for 1 1, see here you should not consider x1 and x2. Here one element is one ordered pair. So what I should consider? Let me consider f of a1 b1 is equal to f of a2 b2. This is the only one problem of this kind, okay, where ordered pair is involved to discuss the to discuss the bijective condition. So I started with something like f of x1 equal to f of x2. If this is 1 1, then I should be able to reduce, right? Finally I write what is the conclusion. It's actually 1 1 we need to prove because it's a show that one. Finally I should be able to prove a1 b1 is equal to a2 b2. This is what I need to prove, right? Okay, now f of a1 b1, according to the definition, this should be b1 comma a1 and this should be b2 comma a2. See, this step shows that two ordered pairs are equal. When we say two ordered pairs are equal, if their corresponding first elements are equal, that means b1 should be equal to b2 and their corresponding second elements are equal. Now that means a1 should be equal to a2. Since b1 equal to b2 and a1 equal to a2, it doesn't matter actually if I reverse these two and reverse these two. So I can also, instead of writing this way, I can also write a1 b1 is equal to a2 b2. See, the meaning is not yet changed actually. b1 a1 is written as a1 b1 because these two elements are equal. So in any way the condition still remains to be same only, correct? So we have landed up the condition what is required for us, right? So we started with something like f of x1 equal to f of x2, then got it x1 equal to x2. Hence the given function is said to be a 1 1 function. Now to check for onto, I will just use the definition what is given. What they said is, for all a comma b belongs to where? 3. For every element b comma, so I'm going to start with, for every element b comma a belongs to the set b cross a, there exists an element a comma b belongs to the set a cross b such that, I'm just using the definition what has been given to us, such that f of a comma b is equal to f of b comma a. See, this is a set where b comma a will be present. This is a set where a comma b will be present. For every element of the type b comma a, there exists an element of the type a comma b. Now that means for every element from the codomain, you can find out an element in the domain also. Hence this says that the given function is going to be onto. What is that we have to check in onto? Take every element from the codomain. For that find out the pre-image. According to the definition what's been said to us, for every element b comma a, there exists an element a comma b. Hence the given function is going to be an onto. Don't give much importance for this. So far never been asked. Okay, but still I will just suggest you go through. See, when we are studying, we will study everything from the beginning till the end. But once we finished everything and once we start the revision for the board examination, the matter will be totally different. So when teaching, we will teach everything. Okay, occasionally one or two problems which are already been left according to the board, right? Those problems even I am going to leave. There are few problems which are excluded already. Wherever it's possible, I will let you know, right? So in such kind of problems we need to discuss, okay, and we need to study. But once it's come to examination, we're going to quit few problems actually. Okay, so prepare everything. At the end, we're going to eliminate few things. Don't get confused, because see, if few problems of this kinds are being given to us, this will not be a problem for us. But this is the only problem of such kind which is given. Okay, so just give a try and try to learn it. Fine. Okay, students. Now let's move to the next one. Problem number 9. In problem number 9, as you notice, a function from natural numbers to natural numbers is given as f of n equal to n plus 1 by 2 if n is odd, and it is n by 2 if n is even. What we have to check, state whether the given function is bijective. So I will check for 1 1. If it is 1 1, we will proceed. If it's not 1 1, there is no need to check for on 2. Fine. So let me check for 1 1. I will not use the general thing actually. Instead, I will use some examples. Now, if I put n equal to 1, if I n equal to 1 means odd condition should be used, right? This definition will be used. Then f of 1 will be equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 will be equal to 1. Now let me put n equal to 2. Now if I put n equal to 2, 2 is an even number. Then f of 2 will be equal to 2 by 2. That also will be equal to 1. What does this says actually? This says f of 1 equal to f of 2, but 1 is not equal to 2. Elements are different, correct, right? But their image will be same. Then in such case, the function is not going to be 1 1 function. It's enough, students. Now don't proceed and find out and check for onto. Okay, here itself you can give a conclusion. See, what is bijective? It should be both. It should be both 1 1 and onto. If it's not 1 1, then there is no point in go and check for onto condition. So just give this example, and at the end of it, just note down this function is not a 1 1 function. Hence, it's not going to be bijective. Okay, students. Now let's go to problem number 10. Problem number 10, they have given f from a to b are defined separately. It is given as f of x equal to x minus 2 by x minus 3 is f11 and onto. We have to check for both this time. Okay, now let's proceed and check this now. So to check for 1 1, I will take it f of x1 is equal to f of x2. So f of x1, let me use this condition, x1 minus 2 by x1 minus 3 is equal to x1 minus 2 by x2 minus 3. What I will do is here, see, I started with f of x1 equal to f of x2. I should check whether x1 equal to x2. Cross multiply, simplify, and let's see. So let's cross multiply these two. On multiplying these two, x1 x2 minus 3x1 minus the next is going to be minus 2x2 plus 6. Multiplying these two, x1 x2 minus 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 6. Eliminate plus 6. Eliminate x1 x2. Let me collect this x1 terms to one side. There is minus 3x1 minus 2x1. Shift this to left side. So minus 3x1 plus 2x1. I will collect x2 to one side. I already have minus 3x2 here, and this should be shifted to right side. So plus 2x2. Now minus 3x1 plus 2x1 is going to be minus x1, and this minus x2. You can eliminate the minus sign. The remaining is just going to be x1 equal to x2. So start with f of x1 equal to x2, and we are able to get x1 equal to x2. Hence the given function is going to be 1 1. Now to check for onto, let us consider f of x equal to y. X minus 2 by x minus 3 is equal to y. Cross multiply, x minus 2 is equal to yx minus 3y. My aim is to find out x in terms of y. So I will collect these two to one side. X minus xy, shift minus 2 here, 2 minus 3y. So x will be taken common. 1 minus y is equal to 2 minus y, or x equal to 2 minus 3y by 1 minus y. Where we will substitute this? This we will substitute in the given function. So let me substitute in the given function. So f of x equal to, in place of x I will write this 2 minus 3y by 1 minus y minus 2y, 2 minus 3y by 1 minus y minus 3. So we will take LCM and simplify it further. 2 minus 3y, 1 minus y will be multiplied here. So minus 2 plus 2y. Fine. And in the denominator, once again LCM, 2 minus 3y plus, minus 3 plus 3y. So I'm going to cancel this, and this also will be cancelled. Minus 3y plus 2y minus y, 2 minus 3 minus 1, eliminate this. What's the remaining? Fine. This was an assumption. We are assuming that y is image of x. Okay, or we are assuming this for every element of y there exists x, but finally we are able to prove the same. Now that shows that for every element of codomain there exists an element from the domain, hence the given function is said to be onto. That's how to check the condition for onto. Now quickly, there are two objectives, so I'll always suggest you, we will discuss the objective in the, once we start the transcend discussion, we will discuss everything there. So in any of the exercise I will not be solving, there will be one or two objective problems, so I'll quit those problems. Okay, so anyway these problems will be included in our objective transcend also, so we'll study there. So student, we have come to the end of the topic called as functions. So in this functions we have studied what is a function, what is its domain, range, codomain, and apart from that we have studied what's called as types of functions. So one function, onto function, many one function, into function, bijective function. There are different types of functions. Don't get confused, depending on the problem, sometimes I will give examples, sometimes I will do the general procedure. You can also practice the same. Okay, so depending on the problem you decide when to give example and when to go for the general procedure. Okay, so just give a try on this. We'll see if you have any doubts or clarification, so definitely we are there to help you. So one suggestion is, see, most of you are telling your doubts, okay, asking some doubts in the just below the YouTube video. Fine, now you'll be watching YouTube video, and there just below that you are mentioning the doubts or comments, right? What I suggest is, if you have any doubts, so please just text us, okay, or send a pic on WhatsApp or give a call to us. That will be easy for us to clarify your doubts. Most of the times you will not see the doubts or comments whatever you mentioned under the YouTube. Rarely we see. Okay, so my suggestion is, it's better if you can send a pic on WhatsApp or call to us and talk to us to clarify the doubts. Okay students, now let's start with a new topic. The new topic is something called as composition of functions. If you remember, I have given a little hint about this topic when we were doing chain rule under differentiation. I have given you a bit of hint about the composition of function. That means combining two functions to get one single function. I have told you, I have given one example also, right? But there I said you will study how to proceed and how to find the composition of function in detail when you will be studying the topic called as functions, right? Now today let's go and see what is composition of function, how it will be done, and how to proceed with the problems. Fine. Composition of functions, it's quite simple. First thing, there is a function from set A to set B. There is one more function g from B to C, right? If I am try to write this in an arrow diagram, so there are three sets under discussion: set A, set B, set C. So when you are defining composition of two functions, the codomain of the function f should be equal to the domain of the function g. That is the thing which you have to take here. So what we said is, f is a function from A to B, then g is a function from B to C, but I want a function from A to C right? And a function from A to C is denoted by GOF. Okay, so what actually I got from here is GOF is one single function now. It is defined from where to where now? It is defined from set A to set C. What is this GOF? GOF is one single function which is obtained by combining F and G. Fine. The combining, okay, or composing two functions to get one single function. That one single function will be called as composition of function. So composition of function carries a simple definition. Any function which is obtained by composing two functions, but conditions has to be taken care. Fine. So any function which is obtained by composing two single function, right? And the resultant function will be called as composition of two functions. So I told you, I have explained everything here also, but there is one beautiful diagram just below this to understand how actually, why it is actually called as GOF, why not f of g. Okay, so there is a function f. Into this I am going to send x. Outside of this you are going to get something called as f of x. Where is this f of x will go? This f of x will go to another function called as g. So what's happening is g is going inside g, okay, sorry, f is going inside g, and the outcome will be named as GOF, g of f of x, the full form of reading. Hope you got this. There is a beautiful diagram, you can understand better. I just wrote a rough diagram to understand. Okay, so x is taken from the domain of f, right? The outcome is f of x. This will be an element which goes inside g, and when it comes outside g, the function will be g of f of x. This is how the composition of function procedure. A diagram is there, you can understand better. I know still the things are not clear, right? What is this theory is going on, we are unable to understand. Not to worry, one or two example and you can find this will be one of the easiest topic. Okay, so there are some examples. So this is example 1, f of x equal to x square and g of x equal to 2x plus 1. But remember, f is defined from real numbers to real numbers and g is also defined from real numbers to real numbers. What is that they are asking? They are asking find out something called as f of g, find out something called as g of f, okay, and also show that these two are not going to be equal. Fine. Let us start finding the first one, f of g. F of g, if they have nothing, sometimes they will give f of g of x. See, the full form of reading this is f of g of x. That's the way the reading. So this of is shortly denoted by O, right? Okay, now there is nothing to worry. So we need to find these two. So let's consider f of g of x. F, instead of this O, you can put a bracket and just write this as g of x, right? Okay, see, this and this both we will read it in the same fashion. F of g of x, this is also f of g of x. Here O is there, here bracket is there. That's all the difference, right? Okay, now let's consider f. In place of this, I am going to substitute g of x. G of x is given by 2x plus 1, right? Okay, now to make it things simpler, let me call this 2x plus 1, something call it as t, to make the thing simpler. Now this will become f of t. What is f of x? F of x is x square. That means f of t will be t square. Now quite simple. You will find out, you got t value. Now t value will be replaced by 2x plus 1. Now just expand this. This will be 4x square plus 1 plus 4x. This is f of g of x. Now the next one they said find out something called as g of x. So how to find g of x? G of f of x rewritten as g of f of x. Now substitute f of x. What was f of x? X square. So once again I suggest you give some name for this x square. Let me take it as z, where x square will be equal to z. Do this naming, it is easy. You will never going to miss anything. Directly if you proceed, there are chances you will miss out something. So learn this naming culture. No, it's easy. So remember, g of x was 2x plus 1. So g of z will be 2z plus 1. Correct, right? So what's happening here? The value of z will be x square. So 2x square plus 1. Just notice here, this is g of f of x, and this is f of g of x. Correct, right? So easily you can conclude that f of g is not equal to g of x. So you have to understand f and g are two functions. Process of combining is different, right? This says g is going inside f, right? And this says f is going inside g. It doesn't matter for us. Composition of functions can be done in many different ways. Okay, fine. Now you got f of g. This is one single function now, but this one single function is combined by using f and g. This is also one single function, okay, and it is combined by f and g. Different way of combining, that's all. Got it? Fine. Okay students, we have one more problem there. The second problem under discussion. The second problem is f of x equal to sin x and g of x equal to x square. Then we need to find f of g and g of f. So how to find f of g? They mention only f of g. You have to start by considering f of g of x. Okay. Then f of g of x can be rewritten as f, in place of o put the bracket g of x. Fine. So f, what is g of x? G of x is x square. So I will suggest to give a name. Let me put x square equal to t. Just naming, that's it. So this will become f of t. If f of x is sin x, f of t will be sin t. The value of t is x square. This is f of g. Now to find the next one, g of f of x. Let's write it. G of f of x equal to g. F of x is sin x. Better to give some names, so let me call it as z. So z value will be equal to sin x. G of x is x square. G of z will be z square. What is the value of z? Sin x. So what happens to this? This becomes sin square x, or can be written as sin square x. Now here also observe, f of g is not equal to g of x. That's how the composition of two functions will be done to get one single function. So this was the second problem. Now let's move to the next one. After this you have something called as, what is inverse of an element? Remember, we used to write f is a function from set A to set B. This is defined by f of x equal to y. Now how do you read this? This you will read it as y is image of x. You are reading from here to here. What is the way from here to here? Now it's going to be what? Now you will be calling x is pre-image of y, or x is called inverse of y. X is called as inverse of y. So it is practically denoted by f inverse of y. This is the way to say, write the symbol. F inverse of y will be equal to x. That's how inverse of an element will be defined. Suppose when we are writing some example, there was f of 1 equal to 2, f of 3 equal to 4, right? Then what is it? This actually, this, see, 2 is image of 1. But if you are writing f inverse of 2, f inverse of 2 will be equal to 1. And from here, f inverse of 4, sorry, f inverse of 4 will be equal to 3. Right? This is a concept of finding inverse of an element. So there are few examples given there. These are worked examples actually. So one of the problem is f of x equal to x square. Then you need to find something called as f inverse of 9. We don't know f inverse of 9. Let me assume f inverse of 9 equal to x. Then this will suggest me that f of x will be equal to 9. If inverse of 9 is x, then f of x will be equal to 9. What is f of x is given to us? X square. So x square equal to 9. Or what's the value of x will be? plus or minus 3. Now that means finally we can write this conclusion as f inverse of 9 will be equal to minus 3 comma plus 3. There will be two elements. Okay, fine. Then the next one, something they said, find out f inverse of minus 5. I don't know once again, so let's consider f inverse of minus 5 equal to x. Therefore f of x equal to minus 5. Therefore x square equal to minus 5. Just think practically. You're squaring some number and can it be negative? That's one way of checking. The other way, x equal to square root of minus 5. But remember, the starting was f was defined from rational numbers to rational numbers. And what is root of minus 5? Root of minus 5 is not a rational number. Then we will say that f inverse of minus 5 does not exist at all. Okay? So in functions topic, the most important thing will be the function defined from which set to which set. So the next one among this, same definition, you need to find f inverse of 0. So once again, let's make an assumption, f inverse of 0 will be equal to x, f of x will be equal to 0, x square equal to 0. X square equal to 0 is possible only if x equal to 0. Correct, right? Therefore, f inverse of 0 will be equal to 0. Hope you understood this concept, student. So it's not at all difficult. It's just you have to find what is inverse of an element. So I told you how to just proceed for all the three, right? So apart from this, example 2 is there. It's a worked example, so please refer, okay, and just find out. Now, the most important topic of this chapter, the most important topic of this chapter is going to be inverse of a function. The most important topic of this chapter is going to be inverse of a function. At the end of this, I will tell you again which are the problems which are very important under this topic. Okay, later on I will let you know. There are actually 4 examples. Okay, out of which one will be asked in the final examination for 5 marks. 100% they will ask, and that's going to be for problem number 39. Okay, part D, first problem, that is problem number 39. There are 4 to 5 problems are there, and definitely one will be asked in the examination. So that's why I said this will be the most important topic of this chapter. The other problems are there. Those problems you will get it for 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, or it's going to be okay. But this topic we're going to study for 5 mark. 1 problem will be there. Fine? Okay. Now what is inverse of a function? Now the thing is, how to find it means quite simple, but there is a condition. Let me consider f from a to b is a bijective function. Inverse of a condition, inverse of a function you can obtain only if the given function is bijective. If it is 1, 1 and it is onto, then only it's possible to find out the inverse of a function. So let me assume f from a to b is a bijective function. Then a function g from b to a. F is a function from a to b, then there exists a g function from b to a, right? Then there exists a function g from b to a. This function will be called as inverse of the given function. So please remember, this is definition wise I am putting you, but once we start working the problem, the conditions will be a bit different. Okay, so what is actually inverse of a function? That's all. So inverse of a function is simply obtained by changing the domain and the codomain of the given function.